Hey there, everybody. It is I, Ninyoi'S. I know a lot of you thought I forgot about this little VTuber venture of mine, but I did not. Turns out, I've been getting smoked by pixel art while trying to learn it for the last couple months. And I've come to the conclusion that art is hard. Artist, I did not know your game. But whatever. That's a story for another time. Let's get right back into it, shall we? Back to the story. 50 years had passed after I's changes. In that time, the first children arrived and the royal families were established, with the royal VTubers being the fighting force. The royal families are the royal family of Cover, or Hololive. They had some infighting at the hands of a warrior named Coco, but continue to prosper now. They reside in Video. The royal family of V-Shoujo. They rose to power, but were destroyed from the inside by one of the warriors of legend, known as Iron Mouse. Their warriors now roam wild after the houses collapsed. They actually chose Vitriol, strangely enough, to reside in. The royal family of Niji-Sanji. The house exiled to the far bottom of the world over their terrible practices on their warriors. They reside in the realm of darkness, Venus. The royal family of Chromaship, but was known as Idol Corporation some time ago. Known for gaining warriors the world over, not just from their reasons specifically. They reside in Fortress Valiant, the royal family of Niji, the branch house that staged the coup and aided the other houses in the battle against Niji-Sanji's main house and survived the exile because of their efforts. They reside in Volatile, the home that was devastated in the war. They're rebuilding currently. The royal house of Vialor, known for having some of the most beautiful and alluring VTubers that are just as powerful as they are eye-catching. They reside in Mystique, the royal family of Phase Connect. They have a high rate of VTuber births, so there's an insane amount of them. I think it has something to do with them living in Victoria. I don't know why they're there. I just know Kazuna I approved it, so I can't really say nothing about that now, can I? The royal family of Cinderia, a beloved little royal family that sadly collapsed and their former warriors now call the Wastelands their home. The royal family of V4 Mirai, a relatively new household that's gaining power. They just started, so they live out in Vorpal. They work hand in hand with the Mavericks there to go ahead and build a connection with them as well as build a colony. These houses and former warriors of these houses are quite powerful and keep the balance of the world with the help of the factions, of course. But there's at least a single faction that can destroy them all. But we'll get to that later. Multiple VTubers with no origin or affiliation emerged. They were known as Maverick VTubers. They went where they pleased and did whatever they wanted. The Mavericks typically formed factions and called a region their home, though the region were ruled still by the royalty that resides there. Considering most Mavericks are weaker and can't handle a royal VTuber in a fight actually. I don't want to drag this out, so I'll only go over 10. Keep in mind, the Mavericks are nomads. So these places only hold the most of those types of VTuber, not all of them. Starting off with the demons, they went to Vitriol, go figure, right? And the leader is Iron Mouse. Recently though, a grave error caused her subordinates' faith in her to be shaken. The gods, they went to live in Victoria, with it being the god realm and all. Their leader is Mori, a god of death songstress with a warm spirit. The dogs, they live out in the wastelands and don't usually take orders from each other. It's only when their top dog, Inogami Kurone, shows up to visit that they fall in line. The cats, they live out in Vorpal, working with V4 Mirai. They're led by Filion, funny enough. The foxes, they stay in Mystique with Vialor. Their leader is Silverveil. Her and Vialor's members get along quite well. However, only women are allowed in Mystique. Men are not tolerated and will be attacked on sight. The artificials, they live in Video. Just like the dogs, they don't have a leader, but they obey their strongest, Cecilia Immigrant, who is part of Hololive. The Mythos, mythical beasts that call Valiant their home. Their leader was Entreya, the Dragon Queen. Quite formidable she was too. But she was recruited by V-Shoujo at one point. But when they collapsed, she returned home. And she had a lot of more power to show for it too, making her even more formidable. The Spacies, they made fleets out in space. In this universe, space is called the frontier. Insanely enough, Vexoria the Sun Eater is their queen. She leaves Neurosama and Beetle in charge when she's off doing her own thing because she's ginormous. However, in this universe, she can change her size, and when it's time for battle, she commands the fleet from the bridge of her ship. Seafarers. They call the world's oceans and rivers their home and has the largest and most powerful fighting force. They're the team that can destroy everything else if they wanted to. They used to be ruled by Gura, even if she was a part of Hololive. However, Gura gained enough status to shade via reincarnation. The one who commands them now and reigns as Big Fish is Sameko Saba. She holds Gura's soul and is acknowledged as the sea's queen. She's very tiny, but can grow to full size at will at least. Lastly, the most controversial faction, Lolly Show. They live out in Cunny. Cunny is mainly Lolly and Shota Vtubers. Cunny is in a faraway place and is protected by the Sea Vtubers by Saba's order. They have an alliance between Saba and Shigure Ui, Cunny's leader. No one goes there without the Sea Sovereign's approval or risks annihilation. And there you have it. That's how these teams are set up for now. You heard me mention strength. I'll explain that in the next video as well as I'll explain how they're ranked and how they settle conflicts. But hey, I guess it's just another job well done for one known as Ninyoi'S.